Welcome to the Friendlyjordies podcast, where Miss Love has come up with stellar segments for you, Jordan.
It wasn't me. This is suggested from a few young men.
Strapping young lads.
Strapping young lad number one, Hayden Mcleod. Assumed related to Mcleod's daughters.
Yeah. Is that a person or is that a guitar strap brand?
I think Hayden's been listening to us
a guitar
since
strap.
Probably. No, the
forever,
question is,
so-
was the Mcleod's daughters a show or a documentary?
That is a good question. I still don't know the answer to that.
Neither do I.
And having said that, I don't think I've ever watched an episode of McLeod's Daughters.
Yeah, I've only
and I think there's a good reason for that.
Yes, there is.
Don't you think that a show about Australian chicks that know how to ride horses was a bit done with the Saddle Club? Do we need an adult version of that?
Well, you can't improve perfection. That's what I reckon. I love the
Yeah.
Saddle Club. It was gold.
Who
they
would
had
watch
great
this
songs.
show?
Huh?
Who used to, like? Was it who watched that show?
Young people, specifically from Newcastle, Gladesville.
A show about horses. Am I getting this wrong?
No, that's it.
Are you talking about Saddle Club or are you talking about McLeod's?
What, are you talking about McLeod's?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
Newcastle.
not young. They were not young.
I know some that were.
Are you saying like all the young people really like lawn ball now? What's happening here?
Yeah, look,
I'm
you're right. It was
confused.
mainly more like middle-aged people, but like there was a small contingency of like, oh, the horses. So
I think that was it.
Yeah.
The short answer to your question, Ollie, is middle-aged people that weren't going anywhere. That's who watched
That sounds
McLeod's
about right.
Daughters.
Basically, the ones that moved on to the living room or whatever the fuck that. show is.
fully.
Yeah.
Changing
Changing rooms. They did that one.
Changing rooms.
Remember that? It
No.
was like, hey, it's backyard blitz, except for it's just one room. You just go in there. You got a budget of $1,000. Do whatever the fuck you want.
Jesus, God help us.
Remember that?
No, thank God I
It was
don't.
great because every episode, one of the neighbours would be very happy, and then the other ones would go in, and then they'd be crying. And that is how it finished every time. And it just cut to that hot MILF going, well, you win some, you lose some.
I get paid either way. Jesus Christ. Anyway, Hayden Mcleod from Mcleod's Daughters has asked, could Jordan, he's actually asked, could you do a video on this? Stretching it a bit, mate, but we'll see how it goes. I'll just put it to him now. Yeah, I'm just realizing that I think this is something I was supposed to ask you, not live, but it's not like heated or anything. The schools program Bros is trying to push forward, aka he's trying to close 4 schools and combine them into one. That's Pliny, about 27 from Sydney. I don't know what that
Is
means.
that what Bros is doing, or did you just watch Footloose?
He said they want to
should
sell.
ask- you
He
should
said
ask Hayden.
he said they want to sell off.
No, I
they-
assume that he's in there.
he is. They want to sell off the land for property development. So it's happening again.
Yeah.
What-
Sounds like Bros.
What
That's
land
pretty
aren't
much
they
all it-
selling off for property development?
It's some school.
That's a really good question.
Yeah.
What in New South Wales aren't they selling off? For
Oh
property
right, I
development?
see. Yeah,
Hey, soon not a lot.
Not even the Harbour Bridge. It's everything.
Well,
Jesus.
I'm just saying. Like, look, if things with China are going bad, soon maybe there'll be less property development.
Well, because of their trade war, and now barley has increased by like $20.
No, maybe China will, like, rich Chinese people will stop parking money in Australia.
maybe.
Because that's what a lot
Man,
of this
that's going
was,
to be
man.
really
just
sad
parking
because I was
money.
just hoping that all of Sydney would turn into Zetland. The exact
Zetland
opposite of what
is
Miss
sick.
Love wants is what I want.
What did
My
you say? The opposite?
favorite.
Yeah.
I'm
the
like
opposite.
Coles
I'm the opposite.
with gum trees on
No,
top
but I think
of them.
Zetland works
Yeah.
because it's
I like
not
that.
just one ethnicity like Chinese. I mean, they're great, but there's Koreans,
Pretty much
there's
just
others,
that,
and
barely.
the mix.
Yeah,
It's Singapore. Zetland is Singapore. That's what this place. is.
Okay, I've never been to Singapore.
Except
Singapore
no
is a
Indians.
third Indian, a third Chinese, a third Malay.
A third Irish. Get the fuck out of the way.
I don't know what's happening anymore.
McGuinness is closed. That's got a fucking yum chair. Fuck
Do you
it.
think that Singapore's Bondi? Why is there Irish
You go
people
there,
there?
and people would be like, Guinness is shit.
This
All the
Guinness is
hairdressers
warm
for
as
some
shite. I'll just churn through another one, which, surprise, surprise, is another video recommendation. Realizing live that I don't think these are made for Twitch, but nevertheless, shout out to Matthew Guy.
Surely that's a fake name.
Who knows? Get Jordan to do a video on new intercity trains. They're too fat for the tunnels on the line they've built them for, and they came from overseas. They're getting rid of guards, axing all the jobs. the ones that go from Sydney to Lithgow and Newcastle. Gladdy's got shitty overseas built new ones. They aren't safe either. They basically got the shortest, shittest trains possible with a link.
Well, thank you for bringing that to my attention, Guy. But Ali, can you just clip this over to me for a second?
Oh no, allegedly.
Why is everyone in my audience so obsessed with state politics?
I can answer that one.
I think I
you
can
guys
too.
answer that?
Both
Yeah.
of us can.
I thought it was just me. What the hell is this?
Should we do it together? Let's do it together.
Well, I
Let's
think
make
they're
it succinct.
different. I think they're different.
4 words. We'll say it at the same time.
Wait, let me think. How many words do I have?
Yeah, tell me the words and we'll say it at the same time. And then I'll tell you my words.
6. I've got 6.
You got 6?
I got 5. Can you whittle it down?
God, Miss Love's turned it into a haiku.
Yeah, get it. Fine.
See, Ali,
Okay.
this is why your illustrious poetry career didn't get off the ground.
You go 3,
Okay, I
2,
do
1,
fine.
and then don't rush it. Just say it.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, and then we each say it.
It's because.
No,
You
you
count
fucked
down.
it.
Fuck.
Ready?
Yeah.
Now shut up, Ali. Wait for me to say
Yeah.
1. 3, 2, 1.
Because that's
you're
all your
into it.
content.
I think you said 2 words.
Yeah, you said I'm not a good poet, so I just.
I said because
He got scared. He got nervous of his own point.
Did you just fucking blunder that?
No, I didn't. I was saying.
No, he's terrified of it, like, because you just made
I
me
was-
feel bad.
Oh, for
Because I knew they would
What's
be
this, year
different.
3?
So good. 6 words. No, that's too much. Stop. Wait to 3. Yeah, he gave him the. It is year 3.
Yeah.
It's just like being in fucking the swimming carnival and then some like old git yelling at you.
It's a
Just before you go
fail.
on. It's going to make you go slower.
It's a fail, and not even an epic fail, which is sad.
I said
it's just a,
Just a
dumb
fail.
fail.
I said because that's all your content. What did you say?
So that's because.
But this is what I'm wondering.
did-
Why
wait.
is everyone interested in state politics?
Because
Like,
you're
and I bet
into
this
it.
Matthew
Because
Guy is
that's-
from Queensland. What's the bet?
Because that's all you
Because
feed
you're
them.
into it.
So they're into it because I'm into it, or
Well,
is it
that's
just like
why they're your
state
fans.
politics is inherently interesting because
Okay,
you
I'll
can
give you
sit
a
there and
good
just
metaphor.
like,
It is not-
oh look at this Calder-Shack,
I'll
and
give
now
you
the
a
beer is
metaphor.
nuclear.
I'll give you a metaphor.
Before that, I need to stress this enough, Jordan. It's not actually.
Look, I'll
that
give you a,
interesting.
can I give you a metaphor?
Continue.
Here's the metaphor. First of all, what did you say?
It's not that interesting. Oh wait, before
Yeah.
for the because you're into it.
Yeah, exactly. Same
All right,
thing. Same
maybe,
thing.
but look, Ali,
Here,
you
I'll
got to
give
say
you-
this. It does have actual tangible impacts that you can feel, as opposed to what you're into, which is just like, all right, China said something. Should they have put in the tweet? Thank you.
I disagree.
No,
I
thanks. Thanks is good. Thanks is good.
I-
XO.
I disagree. I disagree.
It matters. These
Look,
things matter.
here's-
See, this
so
is the whole
much.
thing. Like the
Oh,
whole
for
thing with
fuck's
like
sake, he spilled his
international
fucking
politics.
tea.
It's more tea leaf reading than the Hill does.
Hey, not everyone has to focus on New South Wales politics.
I'll
That's
give you,
your gig.
Jordan. I'll give you a metaphor. I'll give you.
Yeah, it's
a way of life.
It's basically a gig now. It is not a way of life.
I'll give you a metaphor, Jordan. Are you listening?
He's in the bathroom.
He'll
Are you
hear me.
taking his shit
No,
live?
he'll hear me.
Oh, okay.
Here's the metaphor. Here's the metaphor. Here's the metaphor. Here's the metaphor. You fed your audience. You fed your audience gruel. You're feeding prisoners gruel, and you keep feeding them gruel, and they think it's gross, and they keep feeding him and keep feeding him until they start to think the gruel tastes like cheeseburgers. Num num num, cheeseburger time,
Yeah.
yummy gruel.
Gruel is delicious.
Hey, what if I throw this right back at you? You used to say something to me which was borderline offensive, actually.
Did it involve bacon?
But just before Jordan had...
What I ate dangerously low quantities of bacon.
I would sometimes say, dude, you know what life could be? If I just end up finishing my law degree, I could move to like a shitty town and live like a country lifestyle, just be like the local solicitor, just like, nah, that parking
Yeah, that
fine
was
is too
his
much.
little plan.
And
B
then
dream.
That's a cool plan.
I was like, okay, as like a backup,
Yeah, that
that's
was
not a bad
nice.
life. But Jordan's response was, why the fuck do you want to be a big fish in a small pond? Be a big fish in a big pond.
Right.
New South Wales politics, small pond, you're a big
and
fish.
then a big fish.
Putting it out there, just saying it.
Shots fired
Fuck,
at Friendly
you're right.
Jimmy's Corp.
Yeah.
Shots
I'm
fired.
a sunfish in that aquarium.
The big pond is
It's federal.
New South Wales
Big pond,
and
Telstra.
Queensland politics. That's the big pond.
But I will give
getting
you
on
this, dude.
tentacles there,
I will
right?
give you this. They're very corrupt, and that's very bad. And I like that you're exposing the corruption. And all of the country learned who the fuck Jodie McKay was. So there was positives. I just think, maybe every third week, divulge from paying out Gladys Berejiklian into paying out ScoMo. I feel like you're pro ScoMo these days. It's been so long.
I feel like it too.
So long.
Hey, yeah.
Because I've just forgotten who he is. And
Yeah.
now every time someone pays him out like Ali, I'm just like, oh, leave him alone. He's going through COVID.
And you're listening to so much Rush
and I
Limbaugh
actually-
that you're just kind of just like, hey, his sunglasses don't have rims. That means he hasn't got time for changing his glasses when it's night. That's not the sound of a man.
Anthony Bolshevik Easy.
Okay, I can one more. This is a question that I'm like too afraid to ask now because
Fuck, don't do it
no,
then.
it's not. It's got nothing to do with cancel. It's just you know how some
Yep.
questions are just too late.
50%, we have 50% enemies.
Too late to ask that
Ali's
question.
speciality. Go on.
Yeah, so I'm gonna ask you that
I thought
question.
that was my speciality. What's LMP stand for?
God, this really is, isn't it? Like
What's
we
up with
should
these-
not be on the internet. We're in slow motion.
Okay,
We should be on the project.
Yeah, we should. This is the project, isn't it?
This is not the project.
Pretty
Your
much.
name's
It might
Ali.
be much better. It might be much
I
worse.
look like Lisa Wilkinson. You
And I'm
look
Pete
kind of like
Evans.
Peter Hellier, except for not as fat.
Yeah, Peter, whatever that guy's like. And I pretty much do just show memes like, there's a swan that was late to work. Looks like he was definitely late to work. I'm really scared of losing my job. Someone please pick this up.
Hey, I need my question answered.
How good would it be if Peter Hellier was hosting Triple J breakfast?
It would be an improvement.
But you know what?
I love it.
He'd kill it. I think it'd just be people would listen to it just as a joke.
I think, yeah.
And he's got experience, so he'll be good.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Okay,
But what's
so
your
my
question?
question is, okay, I'm sorry in advance. What's up with this Engadine Macca's and ScoMo?
Fuck, he's right.
Whoa.
Jesus,
You're
Ali.
making me sound like a professor, dude. I'm usually the one that's late.
Okay, hold up. Rewind. Is that actually a thing? Did he actually shit?
Can't believe you're asking
too
this.
far.
Okay, sorry.
Two up.
Okay. I'll edit this bit out.
Shit, no, you're
Who
not
are you,
editing.
me?
You're
Are you
keeping that
me?
in.
Are you taking my... Stop taking my bit.
I swear to God, I'm
Oh,
not joking.
God.
You're too scared to
When
ask
did Ali
for 4
turn
years.
into the
Because
Peter
that's
Hellier
what I'm
of
saying.
this
It's too
podcast?
late to ask. I know there's so many memes about it.
No,
and
I get
know
it.
that
I get it.
now whoever I ask,
No,
I just have like my
you should-
brothers
okay.
and they don't know. Trust me.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
One of them
They
is
don't know
like,
who ScoMo
one
is.
of them is gonna say, well, I don't know. This question is not about a Nissan Skyline, so it doesn't make sense to me.
Fair. And you shouldn't ask. They've got a fair point. That's
The
not
other
about
one
that.
would say, even if he did, it's good. That's what his response would be without knowing.
And I think we all know which brother that is.
Pakistani Bill Burr.
Yo. But the thing is that's crazy about it as well is like
Still no
you
answer.
live so
We'll
close
answer
to
it. We'll
Engadine
answer
that
it.
they probably do go to that Macca's. It does affect them. They still don't care.
Look,
First
They
of
should
all,
put that in
before-
that Engadine Macca's, shouldn't they? We should all just petition that they should get one of those Hollywood cutouts of something, like a wax museum poo in the center of the Engadine
Well,
in
before we-
commemoration of a shit that might have been there.
Before we say,
so it's
before
not
we
confirmed.
before we
Well,
answer it, how do you
actually-
confirm a term?
how did this story even come about? How do we know?
Witnesses.
You know, I don't think it happened because,
What?
yeah, I don't think it happened
Exposed.
because before, and this is what's even more damning about it. He says he's a Sharks fan. It's fucking bullshit. He never was a fucking Sharks
So he's a
fan.
poser.
That's
complete
way more
poser.
damning.
Dude, that is. That's
he just understands marketing. That's why
the
he just
real
looks so
crime.
shit.
That's the real crime.
Yeah.
like that is
No, before that, we had him on
faking
record.
an NRL fandom is pretty
You'd be
low.
surprised how many head of states do that, actually.
Really,
It's the way to connect to the common people. Most time, head of
Hey,
states are like rich.
Albo bleeds green and
probably
red.
He probably
He
is.
bleeds
This
green and
He
red.
does bleed green and red.
He really does.
But it's not because of the Rabbitohs.
Yes,
it's because
it
he has
is.
such a shit diet that he has a lot of gangrene.
Just lasagna again. Yum. Yeah.
Hey, I saw. By the way, I saw these new polls.
Yeah.
Anyway, I get to that. Tell me, where
shut
did this
himself?
Engadine thing
Well,
come
actually,
about?
can you in the comments tell me if you think that this video will go well? Because I think you're right about the one that's coming out on Friday of the "What speech aren't you going away? Can't you?"
Yeah.
I think this will happen.
Coming, yours truly. If you
Okay,
ever,
I agree
there's
with
a-
Elliot. He's saying tell everyone the story they might not know about it, including me, who was right here,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
asking you to tell me about it because I actually don't know about it.
You know what's amazing as well? The fact that your family is Pakistani and they're saying, well, it doesn't matter if he's shat in a McDonald's.
Who
Of
hasn't?
course you- Yeah.
In fact,
I
and I
mean,
used to work. I used to
it's-
shit on
yeah.
the burger before wrapping it up.
It's surprising.
learn what a toilet was.
What? No, I was just going to add to the joke, but I think you've all taken that to the end of the road.
Peter Hellier, once again scared.
Yep, very scared.
his job.
He
Very
was hot.
scared, yeah.
Okay, so he was hot. I'm getting my story from these comments. So maybe he was.
He shat himself, from my understanding, he shat himself in there because who knows why. Probably he was pissed or he was just like
It was the
excited.
grand final, apparently. But this is
Right.
the thing.
Oh, so it was the finals now.
I know that it's fake because he was not a fan of the Sharks.
Right.
We have him on record saying when he entered politics, before he entered politics, that he was a fan of rugby union, which is so lines up with the rest of his story. He's not a poor guy.
Because rugby union is if I'm wrong, from what I understand about Australian footy, union is the one that upper middle class people tend to follow
Private
more.
school.
Not even that.
As opposed to
The
like
elite.
NRL. NRL is scum. Union is elite.
I don't think I've
Sorry,
ever
not
heard
scum.
anyone
The-
support
the
the rugby
populace.
union unless they have a South African accent.
Yeah.
No one supports
Because it's
union.
closest to actually rugby,
Nah.
which was an elite.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
same as England. It's a private school.
Have you heard
Union's
that
private
Nelson
school.
Mandela quote about rugby?
No.
He says, football in soccer. Football is a game, as a gentleman's game played by hooligans, and rugby is a hooligan's game played by gentlemen.
He's right.
Damn, that's mad.
Well, actually, he's not right.
Well, no,
they're all
Union-
hooligans.
There's a lot of
Nah,
fuck
nah,
cunts.
nah. Union is a little more esteemed, and they're not like raping and people and like taking.
Aren't they?
No, they are
thought they
like
were.
Hey,
Nah,
what do you mean?
man.
Actually, now that I think about it, you're right. All I ever see in rugby union is guys that look like they're in the rugby league, but then
They're
they
good guys.
bitch it like they do in soccer and pretend that
Well,
they've
their
got a foul
scrums-
and go like, my leg.
Well, their scrums don't go. Their scrums just start like that, and they feed the ball and move, and essentially.
Wait, is that the one where the scrum is pointless, or is that in
Yes.
rugby league?
No, that's actually. Oh,
it's
dude, no, I
rugby
got them
league.
confused. I got them confused. Union's the one where they go whoosh, and then
Yeah,
league is the
the whoosh
pointless
is
one.
the- yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
the-
So really, the Union one's tough as.
Holy shit! So the scrum, that's so stupid.
Yeah, the scrums-
scrum in rugby league
Is pointless.
is that Simpson family game where they bash into each other with pots on their heads.
No, that's Union.
Oh wait, people are saying union is private school. That makes sense.
Yeah, union's a
just
private
said
school.
that.
Private
Yeah,
school.
yeah.
Sorry.
Damn
But-
it.
My bad.
So that scrum is that bashing each other in the head with pots, but it's like 20 guys doing that without helmets.
Yes,
Fuck, that's dumb.
that's why they get cauliflower ears. Because if you bash an ear enough, it just goes.
Like Khabib's ears are permanently a big ass cauliflower.
Yeah, it's the same. It's fighting exactly the same. You put enough pressure on an ear, it just goes.
By the way, did you guys watch by any chance the Mike Tyson fight?
Oh, is that been already?
It was on Sunday. Well, you can't because you have to pay it. But
Is this the real life Rocky 6?
Yeah,
It was like,
yeah.
and he beat
Yes.
Floyd
But-
Mayweather.
Yes.
What do you think? What do you think would have happened?
Do you know that was the result?
I know the result. I couldn't watch it because I was doing
I reckon he would have smashed the other guy.
I reckon
Dude.
Tyson is dead now.
Can you?
I can't imagine.
Apparently, I saw the highlights a little bit, but those are snippets. It was a draw.
Wait, who was it? Floyd Mayweather versus
No,
Tyson?
it was Tyson versus that old
George
the guy
Foreman.
who retired like.
Might have been
recently.
Foreman. It was another old
no,
guy.
No. Wait, 1 second.
It was like another.
You
It's
don't
an
even
older
need
guy.
to. Someone in the Twitch comments will know.
Oh yeah. Can you tell
yeah.
us?
They'll
yeah,
say.
I'll
They'll
just
say.
Roy Jones Jr. Thank you, Shags.
Yes,
887.
someone I've never
Shabs.
heard of before because they do not have a clearly inferior grill in Maya.
But the pundits are saying that Mike Tyson actually won, clearly,
points.
but they called it a draw because they want part 2 for the cash money.
How much should
Thanks
Tyson
for
get for it?
Patreon.
How much did Tyson get
Shout
for it?
out
20
Patreon.
mil?
Way more than that.
Way
I'm
more.
guessing
But he
way
needs
more
the
than
money,
that.
right? He needs
Mike-
the money. He's broke.
I
he was
wouldn't say he was broke at a time.
Right.
But he's
Why does that guy need $20 million? He blew
He probably-
300
it's more
million.
than that.
He
It's
shouldn't
more than
get
that.
money.
300
Yeah, that's how much boxing pays you.
You should have Britney Spears' dad sit there and say, "You want to get 100,000 a week? 100,000 a week?
Oh, sorry.
But how am I supposed to get all my pet Siberian
This,
tigers?"
this boxing question is way more up your alley, Jordan.
absolutely unconscionable.
Funniest voice on earth.
Funniest voice on earth.
Just getting
Apart
smacked
from-
in the windpipe over and over again. So he's got this. Your violence is unconscionable.
Do you know how professional boxers now have this request that are appealing to YouTubers? Stop fighting, you're gonna die.
Damn, Tyson donated all the money to charity.
Jake Paul. Wait.
Where does he get money from? Oh, that's right, because he started that weed business.
Did he?
Weed
Yeah.
business.
I think
He's
he
probably making a bank now.
Damn, that's very nice. Maybe he learned his
What
lesson.
charity was it though? Some shit thing like this is for kids that want to start their own little pigeon
Boxing.
housing thing, make messenger pigeons across New York City.
It's called
Hey, you said a shit one.
it's called the Welfare and Benefit and Trust of Mike Tyson.
Charity putting more scary Mary tats on my face.
Yeah, dude. Okay, so do you know Jake Paul fought another YouTuber whose name I can't remember? No, not a
Why is
YouTuber.
that a
he
thing?
fought.
Why is that a
He
thing?
fought an NBA basketball player who almost died.
The NBA guy died.
did he almost
what?
die?
How old
Dude,
was he?
they're not professional basketballs.
Oh my
Professional boxers.
God.
Because I was reading this interview of like a professional boxer who was saying this needs to stop immediately.
Really?
Like when you become a professional boxer, they tell you how you can avoid dying.
Shit. What? So that
apparently
Jake Paul guy
they
nearly
knocked
killed
him out. Yeah. And they're for money. They're also giving them like pro registrations so that they can fight.
Right.
When they're not qualified.
But
to get
Jake
him.
Paul is a fighter, isn't he?
I don't know if he is. He whooped
Fuck,
his
and you've gone
ass.
from the project to do Joe Rogan podcast, but yeah,
Dude,
Finally,
all I
back
know
to
is that
something
these
I
Paul
enjoy.
brothers are tough.
Hey.
Wait, no. His older brother lost.
his older brother lost, but he lost to a guy I think who was a professional
No.
MMA.
He lost to KSI.
Ali
He was also a
Neal.
Isn't
YouTuber.
KSI? Doesn't KSI actually
Ali
train?
vs. Neil has to happen.
Yes, finally duking it out.
Pakistan versus India. When are you going to fight
And,
someone?
of course, Mislav Belabragic versus Clementine Ford.
And she's down. It's all over as quickly as it started. And
Hey, that's what you think is going to happen. I have
Yeah,
a feeling
yeah.
you're going to get knocked
no,
out.
I think it'll be Mislav Belabragic has successfully beaten Clementine Ford at the expense of his entire career and ever being able to leave the house.
yeah.
Folks, it was a crazy fight. The only fight we've ever seen where where Mislav was holding his ears and got knocked out.
What?
She will
Doesn't
knock
want
you out
cauliflower.
before you. I don't think, because
She would take me out.
she would scream at you so hard.
No, she just-
for so long.
Dude, just the classic. She just, in the nuts, I'd go down and be all
and
over.
Mislav, you would
It
have
is a
so much
very
material for
fun-
her too.
Yeah.
There would be so much that she hates about you.
Yeah.
She would hate everything about you.
Probably.
Well,
Your
she hates everything
existence
about everyone.
is
She
offensive
has
to
to
her.
be
Yeah.
the most bitter, hate-filled human being on earth. And I'm Friendlyjordies.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think she likes
What
anyone.
was her tweet that she wanted half of men to die? Is that right? All men?
No, all.
All men.
All of
Sorry.
them, sorry.
God, I went. Sorry, I didn't go hard enough there. I was just half measures. Yeah. Shout out. She's got better things to do, I'm sure.
You know,
I don't think she does. She spends entire days
On Twitter?
retelling like episodes of Buffy on her Instagram account throughout the day.
Isn't that all?
And
Isn't that
that's
all?
why she's a celebrity.
Isn't that all? Is she an influencer?
You would have to say
Yeah.
she's an influencer
She's
to
the
a
definition
very
of
small self-hating
influencer.
subsection.
Yeah. Self-hate.
hey, I've got a very man question for you guys. This is probably the most man question ever. If she was right and every man did die except for you, you're the only man. What do you think life is going to be like?
Just lovely.
Do you
Lovely.
think at that point, just as a hypothetical, do you think your consent as one man with 303.5 billion women, do you think your consent would matter in that situation?
What are you talking about?
In a world,
Well,
Clementine
you're
Ford
like the
turns out
last
right.
man on
You
earth.
are the last man
Okay,
on
so
earth.
it's the Twilight
basically,
Zone
you're
factor,
the
except
only-
for there's chicks left.
Yeah, it's all women. You're the only man.
Yeah.
And I know this seems like, oh, you're gonna have like, but they're because you're the only product left. You're basically
Product.
the
Yes.
Galapagos tortoise. You know that one Galapagos tortoise that was single-handedly successful in saving his species because
No,
he
it wasn't a
made
Galapagos,
it
but it was a
Isn't that
tortoise.
like
yeah.
every
I can't
man-
remember the species.
2,000
Isn't
or
that every man-
4,000 pregnancies
Isn't
he
that
was
like
responsible for.
Isn't that like every man's dream?
Oh
though?
no! Have you ever seen
but that's what I'm
tortoises
saying.
fuck
It's
before
gonna
as
be a
well?
nightmare.
It's horrible. Huh?
Well, it'd be a lot of like cooking. I don't know. That's a
my
weird
vote is
question.
also- I don't know what that means, but I think it will be horrible. I think you know what you would be? You'd be that Mad Max woman. You know, in that George Miller world where it's just those virgin women that are highly protected and everyone's going after her. You're gonna be that guy.
Right.
There's gonna be fucking Charlize Therons out there that are gonna get you so that their queen can get the last remaining sperm, and you're gonna be fighting all your life. I think that's what
The
actually
tables.
will
The
happen.
tables just turn.
No, it'd just be like being an emperor in ancient Egypt.
As if you're one alone. You don't have any reinforcements. You're one man.
It's not
versus
necessarily that
all
you
women.
need reinforcements or anything, but I think that was the entire. It was in the book Species, They were
I
saying
haven't
that
read it.
emperors back in the day, just ridiculous harems, like harems you could never meet in your entire life. Like,
Harem. That's
like
such a
10,000 women. That was
Jesus.
That's a bit excessive.
Don't you think?
More
It's a
than
bit
5,000
excessive.
is too much. Anything above 5,000.
And they
too
said
much.
the Muslims were hey, a light
They got
died.
us.
Hey, what happened?
Oh,
Damn
I'll
it,
check
the
those.
union got us. That's all right, dude. Look, it's fine. It's fine. Plenty
Yeah,
of
but I'll just check
coverage.
what's
No, but you know, I think going back to Jake,
Yep.
I think he actually is a really good fighter. I mean, he bashed
Is
a
he?
computer nerd in like 6 seconds.
But yeah, a good fighter. Who are you going to fight, though?
There
When are
was
you going to
that.
fight someone?
Oh yeah, me versus Isaac Butterfield. Could you imagine?
You'd go down.
I would be
You'd go
that
down.
nerd.
Yeah.
In quicker time.
Dude, Butterfield, Butterfield would be too harsh for you. I think you should go someone like, who's
You know,
another-
you're actually in a
Bad
really
empanada.
bad situation. Well, then he'd be the nerd. But you know, you're in a really bad because I do Tybo.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
What's Tybo?
It's part of P90X, just that day where you're just doing like mixed martial arts and that and girls change to your southpaw.
Right.
Southpaw.
Is that Tybo or is it just
make
a
you
workout for a 50-year-old woman?
Is it that Tybo?
I don't know what Tybo is. I assumed it's just one of the styles in Mortal Kombat. It sounds like it.
No, I think that's Muay Thai.
Maybe that's
I think
what I'm
Tybo's
getting.
the shit one.
I've never heard
I think
of it.
Tybo is always the one with that classic 80s non-threatening black guy that's like really handsome but 50 going
Right.
like, come on girls, now put it to the side.
This needs to happen.
What?
I will pay a
What?
good amount of money to watch this. Friendlyjordies versus Joe Hildebrand. Can this please?
Joe, it's on for charity. Let's do this.
Yes!
Yeah, clip that and send it to him.
Clip that for
Charity of your choice, mate. Let's get in the ring. Mono. You can't take your glasses off though.
And you know what, Joe? I'll tell you this: you will win.
Yeah, you will.
This man.
Well.
This is a man of wit.
Look at these
not a
arms.
man of punches.
Come on, he's got his arms
And so is Joe Hildebrand.
Oh yeah, true. Maybe you
Hey,
will
Joe,
beat him.
Want some of this?
Wait, you reckon Joe works out?
Huh?
Do you reckon he works out?
I don't think so.
Well, then I think
if he
the
does
odds
that,
are
it's
in your
really
favour.
sad that his body
Who do
looks
you
like
think's
that.
gonna win?
Jordan.
Can we have a poll?
But Jordan, you can't fight for
We
shit. You need
don't
to train
have
up a bit. You
our
need some- you need some
moderator
tra- And I'll just be
anymore.
the guy that's
Please
like, come
do a poll.
on,
Who's
Johnny.
winning?
Get in there, punch that
bum,
thing.
Johnny.
Yeah. Do you want to
Wait, Ban Mole has a suggestion for you. Just take off his glasses and poke him in the eyes.
Damn.
Or I could just go up to him just before they ding the bell and go like, shake hands, boys. And I could just fog his glasses. Start straight there. Yeah, and just like, get it on. I can't see.
Yeah, but you know what just happened? You know what just happened? He'll just tag team that like Italian, possibly Greek, like lady with the bob in her 50, just been like, that's it, from like that show he was on with the chair. And it's like, time to get revenge. And just smack you over the head with the fucking chair. What was her name? I don't know how she got a job there.
I can't remember.
I think
but
she just
was
wandered
the one
in.
that was
I think she
on
had
way
dementia.
higher salary than the rest.
I think she just wandered in and had dementia and was just like, is this my grandkid's birthday?
I think she was on Vega before it turned into Smooth FM.
I wouldn't know. But he would have his team there backing it up.
Gladys versus the gatekeeper.
That's a tough.
I think that boxing match is already on.
Yeah, good
No,
call.
no, no, no,
At
no,
least
no,
in
no, no.
Gatekeeper's
Gatekeeper versus
head.
Bruz, because that'd actually be a pretty good fight. I think Johnny could swing a punch.
Yeah, I reckon he could, yeah.
Ooh, like the gatekeeper could.
The Gatekeeper could swing a punch.
Gladys.
But so could Johnny B.
Oh, Johnny.
Don't
B.
you reckon?
I reckon
Don't
that
you reckon there's
Johnny
some
be
muscle
good
up
at
there?
boxing.
Don't you think?
I reckon that would be an interesting fight.
Dude, Johnny Be Good was meant for fights, not for political office. so-
Miss Love versus Thirsty Merc.
Dude, that can actually happen. Let's do it. For charity.
Imagine two musos and it's in the background like, in the summertime. I don't want to toot my
Can
own
we
horn, but I've
title
been
it as-
working out. I reckon I could hold my own.
A young man meets his idol in a boxing ring.
Holy shit. Geordies versus Gary Awesome in a mud wrestling.
Nah, I don't want that. It's basically, it already is mud wrestling.
I want Ali versus Gary Awesome.
Dude, that would be
The
amazing. He'd
two
be like,
intellectuals of our
yeah, it'd
generation.
be so annoying. He'd be like, God damn, this is gonna be good.
Is he? Would you?
Rear Admiral Sean Earth, give you another hemorrhoid. Don't worry, I've been there, but yours is going to be worse.
That's
Yeah, that'd be his Achilles heel, wouldn't it?
And then in the background is just, I can't waste. I don't
Well, that's his music coming in.
That man's voice, I don't think it's been said enough, is fucked. I've never heard such a fucked voice in my life. Had to be said.
Real talk.
It's fucked, dude.
Finally, someone's talking some real sense.
Yeah,
in it.
finally someone's speaking about the big issues.
Yeah, no.
Is that a controversial opinion? I don't think anyone's ever heard his voice.
Waleed Ali.
Ali
Is it always
versus
on auto-tune?
Dude, you guys would just
Dude,
sit down and have a
getting more
lovely
creative
chat.
now.
What was it?
Shanks versus McCain.
Who's that?
John
McCain
McCain,
who's dead.
Who's that? Who's that again?
the guy that versed Obama.
80-year-old.
Is he alive?
No.
Dude, how good is it that like
Let's dance,
his last
the court.
political move was giving Trump thumbs down. Do you
Oh,
remember that?
yeah. Did he really go? He kicked
Yeah,
the
he
bucket.
went.
That would be pretty cool, actually. Friendlyjordies versus Sir Henry
Hey,
Parks.
who was that American prime president that came in? I think it was before or after Nixon, who put solar panels on the roof famously.
Jimmy Carter.
I'm calling it. Favorite president of all time.
You know what? He was
That's
the
everyone's
least
favorite
popular president of all
At
time.
the
too.
time.
Right. But
Yeah,
he's my
yeah, I
favorite.
guess
He's my favorite.
well, everyone becomes
Soft-spoken
popular
southerner.
afterwards.
Soft-spoken southerner. Seemed like a bit of a old dandy. He seemed like a nice guy.
He
Pretty
was
much
a nice
was
guy.
Bernie
Yeah,
Sanders,
he
but not as crotchety.
Dude, that sounds
Even at
amazing.
95, he looks younger than Bernie Sanders.
Why didn't they like him
Huh?
at the time? Why didn't they like him? Sorry, we can keep going.
Because he was a
Wasn't the style at the time. Well, you know what it was, actually.
Yeah, this would work in
He's
over here. I
history's
think
greatest monster.
He got Kevin Rudd / Julia Gillard did.
Yes.
It was just the media campaign was insane. He was a nice guy.
Yeah.
He was too nice. That
That's
was his
awesome.
problem.
Well, what happened?
Building homes for the homeless and shit.
And not a single bullet fired
That's a thing, even literally.
overseas in terms of wars.
Oh, you're kidding. Great international.
It's hard to do that
policy.
as an American president.
Wow.
Almost,
Did he get
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
2 terms?
If he said,
No, one.
One. Who?
All the peacetime presidents get one term.
That's fucked.
Isn't that amazing that they
Even
have to
Trump.
offer their blood offering?
Even Trump.
Huh?
Really, right? Would you say he was a peacetime president, Trump?
oh,
They're all
peacetime.
wartime presidents because there's just, as
J-Net.
the air is the most epic term in international politics, endless wars.
Yeah, there's. You know how
But-
they used to say the sun never sets on the British Empire? Wars
yeah.
never end on the American
American
Empire.
Empire.
There's
That's
always
so
some war that
I
they're
know,
fighting.
It's brutal. It's just their
But
model. It's their
Trump
model.
didn't start any.
Yeah, that's nice.
That yeah.
Yeah, and I think that was the same with Carter. He didn't start any
Who
new
beat
wars.
him out though? Nixon?
No,
Who?
Reagan. And this is the whole thing. The reason that he was kicked out is
No,
because...
no, was it Reagan?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah,
Why
you're
was
right.
he kicked out?
He was kicked out because Reagan got the entire US business community together and was just like, basically that scene in The Simpsons where Homer says, "Where are we going?" And then Mr. Burns reverses out going like, "To create a new world."
Yeah. People don't say
That's
it.
what was happening.
Reagan was also a New Deal politician.
Yes,
Just a
he
different
was.
Except
kind
like
of
they
deal.
never said it because his deal was horrible for the working class. His deal was, how about, so much money you're getting, how about you get less and I give it to some of these rich folks over there because they're saying, Cadillac's not enough, we want a Ferrari.
The original
that it,
Green
though?
New
Yeah,
Deal.
and that's the New Deal. The green. Yes.
Damn, that's a
Yes.
good call.
That's why he makes
I mean,
the
look, let's not
Greenberg.
whitewash him. You know, there was more Dunkin' Donuts, and the dollar went up.
And
Yeah,
he
for
called
that
his
reason.
girlfriend mom.
Exactly. So I'm saying,
No,
like,
but
there
that's
was
not a
some
good thing. The
positives.
dollar is not good.
I'm saying Reagan was not.
Look,
I'm not saying it's good.
No, I'm just saying like the assumption is that like the dollar increasing means good. For example, Australian we liked it when our dollar fell because dollar increasing.
No,
always
that's
doesn't mean
true.
a good
I'm
thing.
just playing devil's advocate. I don't want to be like we were on the pinko
Yes.
the pinko
Pinko hour.
Yeah, the pinko hour. I'm trying to fucking
No, but Carter,
I don't think people
he
are going
started to
cancel
try
this
and because he
No,
saw
it's
that
not
the
that.
worm was turning, and he was. It was because like before that it was like what Chomsky was saying that I can't remember who. I think it might have been Ike Eisenhower. Could have been Truman.
like Eisenhower. Let's get busy.
Isn't it amazing that you know all the American presidents
Just from The Simpsons.
Yeah, but that's all you need to know about Ike Eisenhower. Let's get busy.
He didn't say that, obviously.
I think he did.
Holy shit.
Let's get busy.
The Simpsons is so good. I don't think that's been said enough on this show. Simpsons is a good show, all right? But anything after season...
Have you seen this flag?
Anything after season 13, 14, shithouse. Everything before season 13 is great. Really contentious,
Finally,
I know.
someone gets it on the record.
I'm putting it down. The funny thing is that is contentious because all the fucking hipsters are like, after season 8, it got pretty shit. It's like, you realize how short life is? Life is really short. And you have the gall to say that 9 to 12 is not good? You got some fucking balls.
Look, life is tough. You need to add another 2 seasons to it. Otherwise, it's too much.
Yes.
There's a handful of episodes to go around.
Yes.
And I think it would matter if we add another 24 into the pot.
I'm sorry.
So hipsters, 9 and 10 should also be accepted.
Not 9 and 10. Fucking 9 to 13 should be accepted.
What if I said, no, actually, 14, 15 should also be accepted?
15's, look, I'd allow it.
A
You're
man
pushing
has
it,
his
I'd allow
limits.
it.
No,
I'd allow it.
no.
But 15 is getting fucking hairy.
Well, what's in 15?
Like, it's not good. It's watchable.
Can you remember anything?
I can't. But
Is this the AngryDad.com season?
No, that's possibly 15.
Oh, wait, this is racy. Random Wookie says, Simpsons bad after 20.
That's ridiculous.
Okay, well, that guy's from fucking Gen Z.
Yeah, that guy's ridiculous.
I hate this. I hate when you hear... This is the only gripe I have with Gen Z. Someone sent in a meme the other day.
Contrarians. Huh? Right? They're contrarians?
No, it's just because they
shit.
didn't grow up with the original seasons, and so they saw all the Channel 10 ones before that, and then they're just like, wow, all these episodes suck. Oh, season 26 is all right.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Okay. This comment needs to be read out. Cancer Incarnate says... The name is self-sufficient. It sounds like the age range Mcleod would go for.
What? I don't get it. I don't get it.
He's saying you're a pedo.
Because you're
good
like
one, buddy.
1 to 13. 13's getting too much. He's just like,
Yeah,
15's getting hairy.
I bet you're
what are you talking about?
I bet you're a shoo-in at your local your family barbecues, bud. And I bet you work at Mitre 10. Not Bunnings. Too shit for Bunnings.
He's Cancer Incarnate. He wasn't lying about what he's about.
But like, dude, to give you a summation here, I think 13 or 14 was the one where it's like, you stole my caravan. I like that. You know, it started to get like, yeah, it's good, but yeah, that was 13, 14. That's a good episode.
No, it's not. It's not.
You're a dick.
I'm not a dick. That's just sucks.
You are a dick. You think you actually are one of those people. You're like 7. No, not even 8. That's you, isn't it? You fuck.
Look, I know that all these
He
things
is. He's a
subjective,
purist.
but
You're
I
a fucking-
personally
He
You're a
don't
started that
hipster.
movement.
Yeah, you are a
Dude,
hipster.
He's the OG guy. He was.
Cancel yourself.
I have a feeling you
Why?
started that. You were
Because-
like, you know what? Actually, people were watching. Oh, season 9 is not that
I did
bad.
start that.
Do you want to?
And then you were like, nah.
No,
do you
you're
wanna
right.
Switch
You're right.
houses.
I don't know.
You want to move into my house?
But I'm a hipster that's well read because I read that goddamn essay by that guy that did his PhD at Harvard.
So when?
You probably think the best ones when they're getting divorced.
So when's it
divorce
stop
one?
Like
for
the
you?
first, like I think it was of season 1 or
Yeah,
season 2 when it was
season
real.
one, yeah.
Simpsons was real.
Dark. It was
like,
dark.
They were
Yeah.
about to
So
get a
what-
divorce.
so where's
Like,
your cutoff? You fucking bloody taco wearing eating fuck.
I will entertain taco eating fuck.
Yeah, hipster. Go on, entertain it. Go. Sticks and
Not in the
stones.
safe space. That
Tread
one
lightly,
that you
tread
showed
lightly.
me
Yeah,
that had Mel Gibson in it,
awesome.
and
It's a great fucking.
I think that was one of my favorite jokes of The Simpsons of all time, and it just flew completely past me. But what
that
was it
makes
now? It was
the
something along
Lummox
the lines
one?
of like, "You've seen Private Ryan, now see saving Mrs.
Yes.
Mrs. Bryant."
Yeah.
And then it's just like
But you-
Rainier Wolfcastle running through a war scene with this old woman going, "Put me down, you lummox! Shut up, old lady, and stop kicking me there."
kicking her in the nuts.
Put me down, you big lummox.
Yeah, and you're throwing
It
that
should
under
be
the
a classic
bus.
line. No, I'm not throwing that under the bus
So?
anymore. But what season was that?
I think that was like 10 or 11.
Finally, a subject that Miss Love knows something about.
Bloody oath.
Well, I think that's the cutoff then.
11.
Because after that, because you could see it, you know what was happening in those
I feel-
seasons?
I think
It
it's
was
still
getting
being too harsh.
It was getting too cookie cut.
What's
That's
that
what
mean?
was
What does that
happening
mean?
with it.
What are these fancy Harvard terms?
There's imperfections in the previous episodes, and also the other thing is that the previous episodes had that nice little sweet 80s sitcom ending. A lot of that, I love you guys.
Yeah.
That is true, yeah.
That happened, which actually made the episodes
I'm
better.
not saying those weren't amazing.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is like that season
I think
has its moments and it's funny, but the ending is kind of stupid, where it's just Homer and Mel Gibson mooning some executives. That's
I get
the
that,
end.
but like it's still entertainment. It's still fulfilling. It's still funny as
Well,
fuck.
do you like Family Guy?
I like early Family Guy.
Well, there you
No,
go.
Ali.
If you can like Family Guy, then
do.
you can like all Simpsons seasons.
Nah,
'Cause that just
you
means
can't.
you're
Family
You
Guy
can't
got
actually,
shit
'cause
as
Family-
well.
No, no,
Family
no.
Guy got shit as well.
Family Guy
Guy got better.
evolved.
No, dude.
Family Guy is better now
No.
than it was when it started. I'm gonna go on a limb and
that's
say it.
fucking
It's
ridiculous.
the
But this is
opposite
the-
of Simpsons.
But this is the thing with Family
That's a
Guy.
ridiculous statement,
No,
my
but
friend.
the thing is, you can keep watching The Simpsons. You can only watch a Family Guy episode once. If you re-watch a Family Guy episode,
yeah. There's no rewatching.
Yeah,
Family Guy.
yeah. Look, I think Family Guy peak was like, I don't know, like the first 8 seasons or something. It was great.
I don't think that's the case. I think they have better writers now than they had
not
before.
go nuts.
Well, I
Let's
disagree.
not say it's great.
Dude, some of those early ones
Yeah, I
were
mean-
good.
They're
As
good.
good as Family Guy can be. Like, take it with a grain of
Yeah,
salt.
yeah.
No one's saying it's a great
Sure.
show, but like,
No, no, fuck
But
it.
guys-
It was great for a while. It was great.
nah, I'm
No,
talking. Einstein said it's all relative. Relative to like shitty Family Guy world, it's not as bad as it used to be. Is my view.
Like it's
And
not-
that's a fair view. But I think that you're all missing the main point here, which is that the best animation is the Cleveland show.
how was that made?
Well, you guys-
How the fuck was that financed?
on?
How was it
Nah,
financed?
it was a huge disaster. But you know what wasn't a disaster? Was Futurama big in Australia?
No.
'Cause-
But it got a following with like pretty much everyone watching Friendlyjordies right now. Fat nerds.
Can I do it?
Because it was deep.
Can I?
It wasn't that deep. It
Wait,
was
what
just-
was?
it-
What was?
You know what happened? Actually, this is something that one of the gang pointed out when we were in Amazon's clinches. But he made such a good point, and I can't unsee it now. He was saying, I would prefer if Futurama didn't exist. It was very
What?
contentious, but as soon as he unpacked it, it was kind of like Ali and I talking about simping for China. After a while, it just makes perfect sense. You know?
Tell me. That's
But-
very interesting because I love Futurama.
Because he was saying
simping, no
that what
simping.
happened is it just split the camp of the Simpsons writers. So instead of having brilliant Simpsons episodes, he had
Yeah.
good Simpsons episodes and good Futurama episodes.
Oh.
And it's true.
What year
Because
did
Futurama doesn't
start?
ever really live up to
No, it doesn't.
brilliant Simpsons episodes.
But that's not true.
But they're good.
But apparently Jonah Hill has a different theory on why Simpsons got bad.
Why?
Jonah Hill says like when we were growing up, all we were obsessing, like what we wanted in life the most was become a writer for The Simpsons.
Yeah.
That's all we cared about.
As we should have.
And when we grew up and when we were in a position to become a writer for Simpsons, that's when it wasn't worth it. He was saying like most people became the writer for Simpsons so that they can get another gig like Saturday Night Live or something
Right,
else.
right.
But back in the day, you just had the best people desperately wanting to write for The Simpsons, even though the working conditions apparently were horrible.
on my cord.
Yes, but
Get up for a second. So you're saying
people that started in The Simpsons weren't that. You know what people in The
was a
Simpsons
gateway.
originally wanted to be?
Yeah, it became a gateway.
It became a gateway, but this is the whole thing. Everybody's always just living up to the next thing, and I think that that's what happened with like Australian comedy in the '90s. I think that Australian comedy in the '90s was razor sharp. There was a lot of really good comedians,
Yeah.
and it was
Definitely.
because all of them wanted to be actors, and so they got the skill of theatrics, and then added comedy to it.
So it just
and then the
had a
next
leg up.
generation after that was just like, I want to be a comedian because those comedians became famous. But the thing was that the original comedians didn't want to be comedians. I think that's what always happens. The good generation wants to aspire for something that doesn't exist anymore because that's just flavors and how they change, right?
Doesn't exist.
So I think that that's what happened with The Simpsons. The original Simpsons writers, they all wanted to be cartoonists. They just wanted to make their little Dilbert clip for
Dilbert.
but they were all weirdos, and they all just made like that red meat thing.
Yeah.
that Borghino's obsessed
Yeah.
with, and it's a great comic.
is
it's
great.
really dark.
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah,
red
yeah.
meat's amazing.
Yeah.
and it's just so much better than that guy. Like I hadn't seen him in 10 years, and then he just goes, "Hey Jordan, check this out." And he lifts up his leg, and then he's got the red meat guy there, and he's just got this mad stare of this all the time, being like,
Yeah, it's
he's just
freaky.
got that on his ankle.
Yes, I did cry over Fry's dog Jay.
I didn't. I
Fiji.
thought that was really oversold. How
Really?
sad that episode was.
I thought it was really sad. I think I cried.
The only thing that's managed to make me cry was a movie called Marley and Me, for some reason.
No,
Is
everyone
it like
cries
Air
at Marley
Bud?
and Me. Pretty much.
Nah,
It's
Wait a second.
It's Air Bud, except the guy, the kid in it grew up to be Owen Wilson.
Wait,
and I rented it back in the day, thinking, "Oh, Owen Wilson, cool. This is going to be Internship Part 2." And then I was bawling by the end of that movie.
Do you think that's why you're a good comedian? Because you were an actor at first?
Yes.
Because you were
Yes,
just like,
I
I
do.
want to be an actor.
No,
and then you
it wasn't because I
aspired.
wanted to be an actor. It's just that I started doing theatre as a young kid. And then I guess I just wanted... No, but I think that that's what happened. I wanted originally to get into commercial radio, but by the time I was old enough to get into commercial radio, Hamish and Andy were the last bastion. It's always the same thing. With every new medium that rises up, at its decline, it has the best of that genre. That was The Simpsons.
Sorry, when you're saying when it's at its decline, it has the best of its genre.
There's a
So, like,
peak
the
in
Twilight
television.
is the
peak of
best time.
Twitch- No, the peak of television was The Simpsons, and then after that it was a steady decline because then things started moving around. Like, okay, it was just in this weird little period where you didn't have to go on one of the major networks because Fox just opened up. So you could go on cable. Cable was a little racier, but there was still that very tough competition to get into that position in the first place. But you could get like these weirdos that were able to take some new risks, and they were all just like these bubbling geniuses that went into that. But, and it's like what they say about Seinfeld as well, it's just media starts diversifying more and more because it's just that was the opening of diversified media. And so media started moving out in different directions. And that's essentially what happened with radio. That's what happened with commercial radio here. Commercial radio, everybody always looks down on it, but you have to remember from an Australian perspective, that's where all the talent used to go. You didn't go to fucking television if you were talented. Because if you were on television, you were maybe one face on Fast Forward. You know, like
R.I.P. Great show.
it's a good show, but
All should know.
why would you just
Full
want to have
frontal.
like your little 2-minute clip
I thought
every
you guys
week,
meant actually
max?
fast forward. If you're
No,
on
no,
TV,
no.
they just fast forward.
No, it's a show. But those
No, it
playing
was a
at home,
skit show, and it
called
was a good skit
Full
show.
Frontal for a while too.
Full Frontal was, I guess, like our kids' generation, but the Fast Forward one, because obviously I've just watched all this stuff. 'cause
I
you look at Australian comedy.
loved that show. It was great.
But like, even if you're good now, don't you like? In order to get famous now in this diversified,
YouTube.
you just have to scream. Like, YouTube. That's just one of the mediums. But the only way you can attract attention is by doing something crazy.
It's sad.
So
it's
you
sad.
have to just be. You're basically like guy who's like in a crowd. Who's like, hey, look at me.
I know. It's
Hey, what if
very
I take my
sad.
pants off? Do you think people are gonna look at me? And you know
Yeah.
what? If you do take your pants off, people will look at you.
But it's sad, isn't
But
it?
so it's just.
It's like lowest common denominator. It's just like, I ate a whole swordfish. I ate a whole swordfish in 10 minutes. Yeah, mad, 1 million views. And here's my trap album. Okay.
But the
What is that
competition's
model?
high, and that's kind of good too.
Well, that's just
Good
the
marketing.
old model. That is
Is
the
it?
old model.
Doesn't seem like it.
Well, what the fuck? Like, how did television exist for so long? The whole thing was basically
Monopoly,
just
a
like grabbing
monopoly.
attention. Kellogg's.
Right,
That's
advertising.
all. That's all advertising is. It's just that's
But I'm
why
not talking
like
about advertising. I'm talking about like the specific acts of like the people creating the content willing to do extreme, possibly life-threatening, ridiculous things, like inconsequential, irrelevant things just to grab eyes and then be like, hey, here's my cookbook. It's like, what? Why the fuck did you dunk yourself in a pool full of shit?
because it works.
because it works.
It's
works.
shit. I'm not saying it doesn't work. I'm just saying it's sad. Very sad.
No,
There's
well,
advantages
there's
to it too, I
advantages and
think,
disadvantages, but like this is actually the thing, and actually you guys can help me Twitch. I like how this is pretty much just me crowdsourcing help from my audience.
Yeah.
Just
It
being
works,
like I'm getting too old for this
It's a
stuff.
good way to test the
We can.
ground.
But
If you fall,
I
three will be
did
in
just
your place.
listen recently to this
Hey,
guy
I
that
like
has done
watching
a
in
lot
concert.
of.
Sorry, just saw some Vladimir Putin plays says, "Hey, I like watching inconsequential shit."
Hey, screw you, Vlad.
No,
I mean,
that's a
he is watching
compliment.
this.
He's
Oh yeah,
saying
this
good
he
things.
is watching the. I'm really a hypocrite, aren't I?
Sorry, continue. I just
See, this is the miracle of technology. Instead of having 3 smart asses on Hey Hey It's Saturday going, shut up, Daryl. Hey, here's my drawing of you, mate. Now we have 400.
400 trying to cancel us.
no, they're not canceling that.
No, I mean,
It's
look,
the
I'm not.
AUWU.
I'm not saying the net isn't
And
bad. And I'm not saying the net isn't bad. And on that note, because I'm a little tipsy, a pathetic shill shout out. Go on Forest House Spotify and click follow because my follows are dismally low. Ding!
You don't need it. You're killing it.
Nah.
Yeah,
I want
you
to get
went
them up
viral
there.
the other day.
I want to get them up there. Come on, just click the follow button. You don't have Spotify, buy Spotify. It's not a big deal. It's cheap. Just go and just click that follow button. Yep. Don't even listen to the song. I don't give a fuck about that. Just click follow. Bye. That's just me
What an
dunking.
ad.
That's just
That
me.
was amazing. I heard
No,
a
you
quarter
want
of
people
those
to
words.
listen to it.
That's me dunking myself in a pool of shit right there. Yay! Follow me on Spotify.
Well, actually, now that you mention it, I just started my own Spotify
Ah!
for Jordan Shanks.
Here we go.
And if you're into my self-help, you can now listen to me in
no-
a even shitter, more compressed version on your jogs.
Tomorrow.
Hey.
It's not live yet, but
Hey, Miss.
tomorrow. Yeah.
Someone just sent a message saying, "Hey, you might want to cut out the part where Miss Love says he was going to have a fight with Clement Fight Ford." Can you clarify that that's a joke?
Allegedly, jokety joke.
Nobody's fighting anyone.
What did I
guys.
even
No
say
one.
anything?
It
He
was a
said
joke.
it. He threw me under the bus.
It was. We were talking about.
I think
like,
I threw you under the bus. It's
Yeah.
always me.
we were also fighting John McCain, who's dead.
I
So-
cannot handle the attack.
And Abraham Lincoln.
Hey, that one was real. I don't like that guy. Again, kidding. Anyway, sorry, continue. I just wanted to make it clear because I
yeah,
just got a message
whatever.
about that.
I don't think I said anything too egregious. It
Was a joke. No one's actually fighting Clementine.
It's so easy to get attacked by the mob,
But,
though.
no,
anyway.
the point is that I was just listening to this guy recently. Can't remember his name, but he was talking. He's done like extensive studies into what social media has done to people's brains. I was sitting there going, "Oh my God, this is horrible." But it's kind of the same as just studying politics when you sit there and you read from a policy perspective, you know, negative gearing and capital gains tax is making houses artificially expensive, and that's making it much worse. And you're just sitting there being like, "Oh my God, housing is the best investment of all time."
in Australia.
Yeah, in Australia.
Yeah.
But
In Australia.
You sit there and you hear the fucked perspective of it, but as a result of that, you can definitely see just a bunch of, I don't know, domain articles going, why you should invest in Leichhardt, you know, that is happening with that. So I was just sitting there reading it and I was thinking, wow, yeah, this is terrible what the net has done to attention spans.
It has,
But
yeah.
this is the thing.
It's true.
But this is the thing. You need to understand the beast. When you're sitting there saying that those guys dunking themselves in chili dogs is sad,
Yeah.
maybe,
Yes.
but the whole game is attention. That's the entire business model. The entire business model is intention,
Yeah.
and it is just getting shorter and shorter and shorter because television back in the day used to be just like a 3-hour soap opera,
Yeah.
or radio used to be that.
Yeah. It's true.
And it's always just about refining the technology. To
Studies
make
have
it
shown that like like with each generation, you shave off like 10 seconds. So our generation's
What do
like
you mean 10 seconds of what?
life.
viewership, like 30 seconds for our generation. Then like the next,
Viewership?
yeah, like
I'm confused, sorry.
holding interest for a
yeah,
piece of
yeah,
content
gotcha.
is reducing, and they say now it's at like under 10 seconds. So you got to grab them in like 4 seconds.
Big buck.
Boop, boop, boop. Makes sense.
Tic tac.
Tic tac toe.
you know,
What do you say? But finish your
Isn't
thought.
that
Finish your
amazing?
thought.
Because we are just in the millennial generation and we can't comprehend TikTok. It's really hard. Like even that,
Yeah.
I
I was
can
saying tic
comprehend
tac
it.
toe as a joke of something that the reality is even shorter than that.
I
It's
know.
TikTok.
I can't. I
And
can't.
it's not even TikTok. They got rid of the C's.
What? It's TikTok.
Isn't it T-I-K? Fuck, now we're really showing age.
No.
T-I-K-T-O-K?
You mean
Yeah, but it's-
tikka? That's chicken tikka.
Yeah, but it's TikTok.
That's
It's
a
called
different thing.
TikTok. It's called TikTok.
And add the fact that Ali grew up in Pakistan to this. Sorry, keep going.
But no, it's called TikTok still. But like, finish your thought. So you're saying like it's getting shorter and shorter. That's just the reality. Attention is the only currency. So what? So are you? What's your?
You know that has its
Well,
advantages
I'm just saying
too.
that The Simpsons in the US was never the highest rating show. There was a moment where it was a cultural phenomenon and it was a massive
It became
counterculture.
internationally
it was
huge
counterculture.
too, but yeah.
It became internationally huge. It was never anywhere near as huge as it was in Australia. Australia was obsessed with The Simpsons.
It's the biggest,
Still
I
is
reckon
to
the biggest
this
in the
day.
world. I reckon Australia for some reason just went the biggest in the
if
world.
Churchill
Every time
was
you ever talk
doing-
to like British people and stuff, they're just like, "Oh, yellow bloke."
Yeah, I know.
innit?"
And then
It's like, you
and then-
dickhead. What are you like? Neighbours.
And then You know, the thing that was on after the Simpsons.
Hey, it's a good show. Remember when Tony jumped off that cliff into the water?
Hey, I liked Neighbours, so I'm in that camp.
Yeah, and I bet you Ali does as well.
I liked
You know
Neighbours.
what? It wasn't horrible.
It wasn't. It was enjoyable.
come on, yes
but
it
dude,
was.
It was-
but
it
dude,
was
like,
bad.
yes,
Home and Away is better.
no,
No.
nah,
I
nah.
prefer Neighbors over Home
Yeah,
and Away.
me agreed.
Where's
Definitely.
your high school loyalty?
What are you talking about? High school? Oh, what? Kids from our school went to Home and
Home
Away.
and Away.
This is
They
what
never
I
got on
do.
Neighbours.
This is what I do.
It's
I
Melbourne, that's
I
why.
bite my thumb at thee.
What, a Jess Tovey? What did she ever do?
Who's that? Is it
One of the chicks that was on it.
Yeah. And that other guy, the blonde guy.
Oh, fuck. Shots fired. Toves.
You know the
Yeah,
blonde guy?
yeah, fuck Dave.
Did you ever audition?
Dude,
Jordan?
you want to know something really sad? One of the guys... No, I never did.
Oh,
One
I
of the
wish it
guy-
was sad. And like I.
I'm surprised you didn't. You would have killed it. The chiseled jaw and
I
everything.
was almost the Red Power Ranger. This is my American accent.
Fuck off.
What? Fuck off.
No,
seriously?
you weren't.
Yeah.
Get
They
the
didn't
fuck
film
outta
that
here.
shit here.
Did you
Huh? They
audition
didn't
for
film
They
it
film
here.
it in New Zealand.
Do they?
Wait. Did you actually audition for the Power Rangers?
Yeah.
How old
Because
were
it's
you?
just like such a shit acting job that they get models
It's
to
not
audition
a
for.
thing. Yeah, because you're under the hood most of the time. I bet someone else in there.
Not even that. There's Japanese stunt doubles that do all the actual acting. You just walk into the burger shop and go like, "Oh no, Beatrice is at it again." That's it.
Dude, stop ruining my childhood. I thought they
Never.
were in those suits.
And Black One was my favorite.
I loved
Was
them
it?
all. My favorite
Yeah,
was the
until as a
long
child I
head.
found out he
How
was
good is it?
Asian.
It's just Captain Planet without any morals.
Yeah, dude, you're really ruining it for me. I thought they were in those suits fighting.
What do you? They are. They're just Japanese men.
Oh.
Ali, have you seen that meme that somebody sent that went somewhat viral amongst the Friendly Jordies podcast community? And it was just
Chad?
It's so true. The Chad Gen Z Friendly Jordies listener versus
I
the
couldn't
millennial version.
Yeah.
People on my friends list were posting that.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was very accurate.
It was the same people that were posting that guy who were saying, "Friendly Jordies, look at him." The same people that were posting the TikTok stuff when we were getting canceled. Those ones that were
We
putting up
don't
the
talk
meme.
about those times.
Why were they putting up the meme? It sounds like they're anti-fans.
I think that meme can also be considered anti-Friendly Jordies.
That's not anti-Friendly Jordies.
I mean, it's like a backhanded compliment.
It's a.
But that's all memes.
I don't know what a... Look,
Is it a compliment?
I still don't know what base means. Is it a chicken base or not? You know, like, you're talking to the wrong guy here, okay?
I thought it was. I thought it can also be like, yeah, nacho fans can also enjoy that meme.
Why would they be able to enjoy that meme?
Yeah, because
It was obviously very, very praising of Gen
Was
Z.
it? Maybe I didn't
Well, I mean,
understand it.
it was called the Chad Gen Z listener, and he's muscly as shit. Why did you think that was a get? I really,
Yeah,
I'm not
'cause-
seeing it here.
Because there, I think they were
But I
trying to
think this was
insinuate.
part of the meme. Exactly
Probably.
what is happening right now. Them, it was like the
Yeah,
Chad Gen
talk
Z
about
listener
it.
sending in memes that we don't understand, discussing them, and them laughing at us.
Yeah, and that's probably part of it, and that's
Hey,
fair.
I thought I was laughing with you guys.
You know what? I'm gonna say some a bold statement.
Just for that camera.
Okay, I think they should just revert back to the memes of like guy and like the one, you know, those really OG memes
But
of
like
like
Michael Jordan crying.
yeah, and like the Chinese guy going and
Let's
Jackie
go
Chan goes
back. Where's Pepe? I haven't
yeah,
seen him in
dude,
a
and
long
Jackie
time.
like ooh, like those.
All right. What about Faramir or whatever the fuck his name was going? One does not. Are you talking about that?
Yes. Those were the peak memes.
Those were the days.
They
when
were.
Mislav Bella
Those
Those were the days when
days.
memes were simple to understand.
Yeah, there weren't these bullshit integrated. Although I will give a special shout out to the Chad ones with the guy with the beard, where it's just like, man, like they're quite funny. I do like
You know
them.
what, dude? I will pay this as well. I will say this about Gen Z. First of all, I think that they're just the
the
best generation.
Is it the latest
easily.
one?
Yes.
Just check.
Well, there's probably like the babies now, I guess, are probably just called like the X-Files or something. But oh no, there's already Gen X. They're older than us. Whatever.
Yeah, people forget Gen X exists.
Gen
was for the best.
You know what they're doing? They're running the goddamn world. They're all techies.
No, they're not, dude.
Yeah,
they're all
Elon
real estate
Musk,
agents.
Google CEOs. They're all Gen X. They're all
Oh
boomers.
yes, CEOs.
Boomers are still like doing old school stuff, like drilling for oil and
Old school.
and
Sailing.
is Murdoch
Sailing.
boomer or is he golden
I
generation?
think it's golden, dude.
Well, they're doing that too. They're controlling the media.
Why won't he die?
I don't know. I don't think he can.
Probably can't call that. Say that on Twitch.
Probably a
but-
vampire.
Yeah, don't say that.
But fuck, he's just so old.
Yeah.
And you know what? Apparently his son is worse. Lachlan is way
definitely.
worse than
Way
Murdoch.
worse.
Really?
He's super conservative from what I hear.
How good is
from
this?
what Kevin
And
Rudd
he
tells
lives
me.
in the richest house in the world.
No.
Well, in the US. So I'm assuming it's the world.
Is it Nantucket?
Nantucket.
Is that in America?
Apparently the richest house is in India.
Are you talking about a town? He lives in a town.
Sure.
Apparently,
Maybe.
What's his name? Also has one of the richest houses in Australia now. The guy who was in the Avengers.
Oh,
Yeah.
Australian man. Chris Hemsworth.
in Byron Bay, right?
Apparently, he's bought Byron Bay, and locals are very angry because it's
Yeah.
been 2 years and they're still doing construction over his massive
God.
land.
Suck
What a
dick.
douche.
That's what you get for living in Byron Bay. You get out douched.
Also, this is what happens when your movies make multiple billions of dollars.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true. He's terrible. Terrible movies.
No, but Gen Z, I'm a massive fan of. First off, because I just learnt the other day that Gen Z kind of sees me as a Hamish and Andy figure.
Really?
Really?
Well, I don't know.
Oh,
Like
okay.
the other day, I was kind of just talking about like, you know, where am I going to find editors and stuff? And then people that are in the Gen Z generation around me were just like, yeah, I can do that. And they just do it in a second. And you're just like, what? And they're
Yeah.
just like, you don't understand, dude. Like, you know how you grew up watching The Chaser? We grew up watching you and like fucking Lewis Spears.
That's
Damn.
I guess that's just what happened.
That's a really good because you know what?
That's really cool, man.
Even though-
Congrats.
It is cool.
But what's cooler is, and I think you don't get credit for this. You know how Jon Stewart like sort of reorganized the way late night was done? He just forced in some politics which people hated, and then it became a genre, and now everyone wants to do it. You kind of did that for Australia.
Yeah, dude.
Who else was there? I guess there was Charlie Pickering who was doing it.
Yeah.
Actually, now that I think about it, there was the
No,
project.
no.
Nah, I'll take that.
Yeah,
back.
alright.
Sorry.
On the shoulders of giants, Charlie Pickering, he'll never get there.
Yeah,
No, I'm not saying
exactly.
they're good. I'm just saying the point
And
wasn't
then,
how
you know, on the shoulders of
qualitative-
giants, Peter Hellier. No, but actually, you know
Charlie
what? That he is on the shoulders of giants to Peter Hellier. Peter Hellier is so much better than
He
Charlie
is
Pickering.
way better. Charlie
I think
Pickering.
Charlie Pickering is the least funny human being on
Yeah.
earth.
What's he
Is
famous
he-
for? Having a big nose?
Is he still doing his show, the Charlie Pickering show?
Yeah.
Is it? And,
He's
and-
fam- he's
and
famous-
how are the numbers?
Terrible.
Does someone
Yeah, what
know
are the numbers?
what the numbers
Ask.
are?
That dude.
I want to know what Charlie
sucks.
Pickering's numbers are like. If you know
That dude
Oh, wait,
doesn't,
here we
bad.
go.
They're
doesn't he
bad.
only have a job because his missus works for the ABC?
That's part of it. The other thing is that he doesn't give a fuck and says whatever the fuck he likes. And
Well, that's
I mean, so whatever the fuck the ABC tells him
Yeah.
to say, and he does that.
just a
But
vapid.
have you guys
empty
ever watched The
soul.
Weekly? It's horrible.
What's The
It's
Weekly?
the
Is that
most
his show?
That's his show.
I have watched
The
it.
most
Yeah.
depressing half hour
Really
I've ever
bad.
seen.
It's
Who's
really
that
not
guy?
edgy.
You know who I kind of like? He's on the ABC.
Tom Gleason,
No,
Ginger.
He is pretty funny.
He's the one who does. What's Tom Gleason's show's name?
Big Fat Quiz or whatever.
No, not that one.
oh, the grey haired guy?
Yeah, he's
Oh,
older.
McAuliffe. Yeah, yeah.
Sean
The
McAuliffe.
guy that
I
looks
don't-
like George Clooney.
Yes, I like him. I don't think he's bad.
No, he's great. He is a
Yeah.
national treasure.
And-
That
and
guy
he-
is
yeah.
good at his craft.
Yeah.
He
The
was
one
one
who
of
does,
those
like, a
fast
comedy
forward
show.
guys.
Yeah, he was.
Where he puts up like a newspaper headlines and some loser guy screams the newspaper is like, Kevin Rudd is gonna be horrible for the country, and then like I don't know, but
He's funny, man.
he does like a comedy show.
No. He's very good at his craft. I'm very happy that he's there. He's
I'm
actually
happy he's
the
there too,
only
yeah.
entertainment program the ABC has done since Summer Heights High that I'm glad I'm paying for. Even though I don't watch it, I'm just like, there you go, boomers, enjoy.
He was good, and then the other people that I thought were decent are now gone. Like
We're
Kerry
paying.
O'Brien, I liked him.
Yeah, Kerry was. Kerry,
And the other
Kerry
guy
was a
who I
national
wouldn't
treasure,
have
I will say
admitted
that.
liking while he was doing his show, but now I think it's a safe space.
Tom Chili.
I like Tony Jones. I didn't hate him.
Who's that? Is that the guy who does Q&A?
The guy who's like constantly afraid that his job's gonna go, and he'd be like,
Tony
hold on."
Jones. I gotta Google him.
Fuck, every now and then
But from
Ali says
Q&A,
something
from
that
Q&A.
questions my friendship.
You know what's funny? I used to like that guy in high school. I'm like, he's witty. And then I grew up, I'm like,
You know why?
wait a sec, he's a
Because
douche.
Yes. But the other thing is because we went to school with all of his
Peers.
like kids' friends.
Right.
So we actually were at dinner parties with him.
Right.
And that's why we like him.
Right,
Because
right.
we were just there and he was just like, yeah, this reminds me of when I was a foreign correspondent in Botswana. Fuck
Hey,
off, Tony.
What's Ronnie John's half-hour show?
Dunno.
Look, I sort of vaguely remember Ronnie Johns, but it was on at a late moment, and it kind of got canned pretty quickly, so I can't really comment on it.
Rodney Rude was great, but he was just
what
a
I will
comedian.
say is,
Rodney
fuck
Rude is one of the best comedians in the world.
Yeah.
I second that. He definitely is. But the other thing about Rodney
You
Rude,
introduced me to him, and I put him up there.
He's mad.
and he was
He doesn't give a fuck.
dude. Fuck, like, you know, all this like Spirit of Australia bullshit of them just being like the Outback, Three Sisters and shit, dude. Just show Rodney Rude your mum's bum as that is the Spirit of Australia right there. That album.
Do you know?
Yeah, you're
Just
right.
his
You're
caricature
fucking right.
face being like,
That laugh. You
I
nailed
u-
that, dude. Yeah.
I used to freak people out because he showed me who Rodney Rude was when I was a new international kid in the country, and I was really into like Ricky Gervais and Dave Chappelle. And Jordan Wonder's like, hey, check this guy out. He's like one of the greatest Aussie comedians.
Yeah.
I started liking him. I started listening to everything he had on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then these old people would ask me, who would look at me as clearly this fob, and they're like, so what else you like? It's like, I think I love Rodney Rude. Rodney Rude is the greatest of all time. So they would just
That's
freak
my
the
boy.
fuck out. They'd be like, wait, first of all, he's a man that's like unanimously hated in this country. Secondly, he's a man who
by university
died,
snobs.
Right.
like, who died like maybe a few years before you were born.
He's still alive.
Wait, he's alive? Oh shit!
What's he doing?
you know what I will pay?
He should be hanging out with Chopper,
Drinking
but Chopper's
Scoobies.
gone. Yeah, Scoobies.
Scoobies.
So good, dude. Respect, dude. Very good call.
Yeah,
Very
well, it's
good call.
because of
And
him.
he's right.
he's
And you know
great.
what
Like,
else
yeah,
as well?
talent
This
is
is what you'll
talent,
say.
yeah.
All those talented comedians from the 90s that I'm talking about, every single one of them. And these are comedians that I used to look up to and think I knew my shit. It was pretty much because they were friends with mum. They were a little bit past my generation. But they, if you look at like historical archives and stuff, every one of them pays Rodney Rude.
Yeah.
Everyone in comedy knows what's up when it comes to the rude, because it's really hard to do creative lowbrow humor. It's all been
basically-
done before.
I think he's Dave Chappelle of Australia because Dave Chappelle
Easily.
does exactly
Yeah.
that.
Dude,
he
he's better
plays
than
that
Dave
character.
Chappelle. He is much more talented. He's got much more versatility than Dave Chappelle does. Dave Chappelle walks on stage and just goes like, "Shut up, man. See, think about
But that's
Martin
his
Luther
character.
King."
He's
being-"
playing that black Washington D.C. hood guy, and he does it really well because he used to live there.
Yeah.
He's not that guy. He comes from like a family that's actually fairly educated.
Yeah.
But that's his character. Rodney Rude was, I think, exactly the same. Wasn't he like some upper
No
class
way.
eastern
No.
suburb guy?
No.
No.
He grew up in Dubbo, and how sick is this?
Stubbo.
My dad's friend used to pick up his kid from school, and he used to, when he was, this is amazing, such a crazy cunt. No, Bathurst. That's where you go because of the Scoopies thing. Like, hey, bloody grabbing Bathurst, I'll have a bottle of Scoopies. I didn't know it was fucking Schweppes. I didn't know that.
Dude, he should be from Bathurst. That's the correct place.
That's the correct answer.
Because Bathurst is a cool town. I like Bathurst a lot.
But he used to sit there.
When you live in Lithgow, you do.
Yeah, fair.
And
fair. Totally fair.
He used to drive his car. What a fucking legend. Drive his car to the entrance of the school when it was everyone was leaving, and there would be a cop car on the other side, because what he was doing could be deemed as harassment, but he was never bordering that. He was always bordering that, sorry. He's a fucking rock star of comedy, dude. Like, you know, he was in Bathurst, didn't have any audience to perform to. Stand-up comedy didn't really exist, so I don't even know where he got this idea. And he used to just stand on the back of his ute with a megaphone, just yelling jokes at the kids as they were getting picked up, and they'd be like, "Yeah, Rodney."
Don't you hate it when your cock's out? Yeah, I hate that, don't you?
Hey, there is no YouTuber.
Isn't that amazing? What?
He played the YouTube game. That's what YouTubers do.
Yes.
They scream content,
Yeah.
kids listen, say, yeah, I love that shit.
Yeah, he was pretty
And all
fucking...
the parents are just like, "Don't watch him. He's insane." They're like, "No, he's funny as fuck."
Logan, the OG Logan Paul.
He is. And like,
Damn.
obviously that guy moved on to redefine Australia. In fact, he didn't even redefine Australian comedy. He was just a one-off. There's no one in the world like Rodney.
He doesn't get credit for it. Most
doesn't.
people don't like Rodney Rude because
Because
I
they're
was shocked.
dickheads that just sit there and
Yeah.
they're just like, "Ugh, the swear word." It's the same fuckheads now that are on Reddit that are always just being like, "I wish that he wouldn't make fun of people's appearances." Well, then fuck off and suck my fat hairy nuts. You
Yeah.
ugly fucking sweaty nerd.
By
Go
that,
paint
he,
some Warhammer.
by that he means we really appreciate your support. And everyone is entitled to have their own opinions.
But dude, like all
From
the
our
ugly sweaty
perspective,
nerds.
art and personalities can be separated. That's what we mean.
And but look, he's right. Comedy is supposed to. Sorry, dude. Like comedy's supposed to offend. There's obviously a line or whatever, but you got to push boundaries and supposed to offend.
How can you do comedy
He was
with?
just always on. Like I remember once Will Anderson did a joke
nice
that went too far, and
Will
too
Anderson.
far.
He was always quite. I liked Will Anderson.
Will Anderson,
He's competent.
dude. You
He's very
watch him
competent.
live and you appreciate his craft.
He's an old hand.
I watched
can't
him on
help
TV
it.
and I thought, yeah, he's a
He's
good Australian
good.
comedian. You watch him live, it kind of helps after watching like 5 amateur stand-up comics and then watching it was like, oh my god, this
He's
is
good.
great.
But you can't help but think with Will Anderson, it's like, would you have a career if cocaine wasn't a thing?
I think he would, man. I think he's a good comedian. I think he now knows how to do it.
Okay, I just feel like it's half the coke.
Probably learned it
Me
over
too.
the
I
years.
think too.
Yeah, but anyway, still a great comedian. He is great. And he seems like a nice guy too. He seems like one of those sort of like inner west OG hipsters from Melbourne that's actually a good bloke and like is a good guy and has a sense
Yeah,
of
Who's a
making me
nice
hate him.
comic as well and does not get his due? Akmal. I know
Wait,
as
Akmal's
the only
good.
brown guy over here has to say it.
No,
but
Akmal's
guys,
good.
come on.
I like him.
Akmal
I like him. He's funny,
is
dude.
better than what people think he
Dude,
is.
Akmal is actually loved. Everyone loves Akmal. He's
Well,
like
you can't hate. It's hard to hate that man.
Akmal is the
I think he's
IGA
funny.
of comedy.
the IGA. What does that mean? What does that
Gets
mean?
the job done.
It does get the job done.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got like one. Do you remember
There's
we
something
interviewed
endearing
him?
about
Do you remember
him
he
as
interviewed
Yeah,
Akmal?
yeah, I
Did you?
Akmal.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, at Move FM.
And it was awesome because he just sat there and I talked to him
was
about
really
what
nice.
his comedic influences were.
What were
And
they?
It was really interesting because I wasn't expecting it.
What
What
were
were
his
they?
comedic influences?
He really likes British comedy, yeah.
Right.
He really liked the young ones.
Yes.
And
good call.
he does that quiz show as well, right? The comedy show. What's it called? Have you been paying attention? He does that, and
Sometimes,
he's actually
yeah.
decent at it.
Okay.
But pretty much he's just a hippie that lives in, I can't remember where,
Yeah,
but like
where was
northern
he?
New South Wales.
Somewhere, and he's like he like his
Yeah.
entire struggles in life are like how to make sure his drainage doesn't get blocked. That's his life now.
Yeah, that's all of his
Wow.
jokes now.
What do you think about that? Like, I don't think he's funny. That funny anyway. I'm not sure. I don't think he's funny, but like, really big smiley Vietnamese guy. He's just like, yeah,
On-
No,
No.
he's just, as it says, the nicest man on earth.
yeah. He's the nicest man. He's a good artist.
Great
But I don't know
dude.
if he's a good comedian.
No,
No,
He's
Ando's
not,
not a
is he?
great.
he's just a nice guy.
But I thought he was a comedian.
Nah,
Yeah, he is,
He's a
but
media
right.
personality. There's
Right.
a difference between a comedian and a media personality.
Okay. Yeah, you're
Does
right.
Ando
You're right.
do stand up? I think that's my.
He does.
does
He
stand up.
does. So he's a
I
comedian.
guess then he's a comedian.
But he's done this. He's Jerry Seinfeld of Australia. He does the same act
Yeah.
for like 2 decades.
It's like, my parents did this, and it works.
Actually, I think it was Kevin Hart who said that that's the difference between an ordinary comedian and someone that's going to become great. An ordinary
if they
comedian.
change their
Yeah, because like
the same
apparently
act.
all big comedians like Chris Rock and Louis C.K. they all have this thing. Is like once the year is done, irrespective of how good, just toss it out.
That's really cool. Jerry doesn't do that, does he? He's changed his material like probably 5 times in his career. Like he named.
telling you for the last time.
Okay,
It's my
I'm
take
telling you
5.
for
I've been
the
doing it
last
for
time.
years.
But
You know
hey,
what? Actually,
why-
now that I'm thinking about it,
why stop
I
when it's
think that,
gold?
honestly, Australian comedians in general, the aggregate is better here.
Can we pay him out?
What?
Go for
He
it.
just
I'll
said-
fucking knock you back down.
What did you just say? Repeated.
I said, why change gold?
Do we have to get out of here? Because that's a
Yeah, we
really
probably-
great time
we
to
probably-
finish
we actually
that. It's
do.
Really
We
late.
actually do.
Okay.
It's
really
late.
late.
Sorry, guys.
But thank
no,
you
I
for
think that-
joining
People are
us.
tuning in.
You're
And,
not gonna see on there.
I hope you enjoyed it and become a
Okay,
patron.
instead of just before we go, this is more miss love, right?
Yeah, okay, go.
He should be having up the comment thread.
I can't. It doesn't work.
Okay, so instead, this whole time he has been looking at Google Maps ramen.
I want to know the best one in this specific area.
Oh, actually, I'm gonna say the most mislove thing as well before we go, just for our
Come
audience.
on, what is this? The me hour?
No. This look, you'll appreciate this, and everyone needs to know this. If you've been wondering how that new Macca's chicken palmy burger tastes, just gonna say it, not worth it. Anyways, thank you
Wait a
guys.
second.
Now
I
that's
tried it
advice.
too.
It's horrible.
It's so shit.
There you go.
Consensus. Put
2 out
some
of 3
cheese
of
on your
them.
burger. Something decent?
You did?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
shouldn't have. It was an
What's the matter with you?
You know, okay, how about
cheese
this?
on a cheeseburger.
I would prefer one of them shitty zinger pies that the KFC
Oh,
comes out.
yuck.
those
than
zinger
the
pies
chicken
would-
Let's
palmy.
let's not say things
Anyways,
we
we'll
can't
see you
say
guys later.
back.
And for those of you that are patrons, we'll see you for the up late.
You guys are